I've listened to your podcast, and there was a one guy who he claims that he bought a house with money he made on Fiverr, right?
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, Fiverr is a website where literally either you can do things for people for $5, Fiverr, five, or you can hire people to do just about anything for $5.
Yes.
And so this person, and there's so many things, and I know you have a lot of experience with Fiverr because you use it, you have guests on your podcast, and by the way, people who don't know your podcast, they should go to uh,
It's sidehustlenation.com/podcast.
cool sitehustlenation.com/podcast. And so it's actually a cool podcast, by the way. I was a guest. Uh, um, and yeah, a lot of people really are excited about Fiverr. And so I want to ask you, what are some of the coolest ways people can make money on Fiverr? And what did that guy do to make enough money to buy a house?
So,
To
yeah, so
yeah,
that's
to
what
go on Fiverr.
makes that story so crazy because it's like, for $5, how are you gonna add, and you only get $4 because they take a 20% cut.
Yes.
Like how is he, managed to build up this business to such a point? But the secret, like anything, it's in the upsells and stuff. So what Fiverr has added is the ability for sellers beyond a certain level, and he talks a lot about in the episode kind of how do you go about leveling up. Um, but as you level up, you have the opportunity to add more and more expensive upsells. And so what this guy was doing was selling basically digital products for the $5 price point, pre-written PDFs, and his were not, they weren't full-length books or anything. They're just guides to certain things that people would want to know how to do. For example, I think he's got one on how to write an email autoresponder sequence, and then so he'll send you that for $5. It takes 2 seconds to deliver, and then the upsells are like, I will write, or I will give you the first 7 headlines or something for your autoresponder. And then I will actually write the body of your email for the first 7 sequences or something like that. And so anything that is going to involve his actual time is all in the upsell. And so I thought that was a really, really smart way to go about it. Because if you're sitting there churning your wheels doing intensive design work, like labor intensive stuff for $4, um, you're not going to be getting ahead. So that's kind of the which I had never known. Like I love Fiverr as a buyer and a seller, but that was kind of eye opening to me.
Yeah, I also often wonder how these guys like really make that money because they don't even make five, they make four.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like, and even the upsells, I mean, they're extra five, extra $10. It's not like, and usually it's time consuming.
yeah. So
You,
if
you
you
can,
can if you can churn it out and make it worth your while. So if you can deliver 10 in an hour, and then you're up to $40 an hour.
so what are some examples of like cool things that people did that were, I guess, scalable and like automated more than not? Like, what are some more examples of that, of things like that?
So one of the ones that I have bought recently is like a video intro thing where it like smashes my logo down on the screen and then it like whooshes away and it looks super sweet. And then, it goes into the video. It's just like, kind of a branding thing at the beginning. And so I'm sure this dude just had like, I mean, you upload your logo file and I'm sure he has like a software thing that he's built or that he has found somewhere on the internet where he plugs it in and then that's it. Like, and then he delivers it almost instantly after. I think he delivered within 10 minutes of my ordering it. So it's like it obviously doesn't take him any, personal creative design time. So what I've done, personally as a seller is to do these. I've got a couple of my books up there for $5, and then one of them is called the Small Business Website Checklist, which is it's a full length book. It was like 125 pages or something. Um, but what it is, it kind of details out what people should have on their website, or at least considerations of what you should have on your website. And then if people want a higher level of personalization, like I'll do a video audit for you in the in the gig extras, in the upsells, and so I'll record that session and give personalized feedback like that. So that's what I'm working on, and that's some of the other ones I've seen.
And how do you get discovered on Fiverr? Like, I mean, is it very crowded there at this point? Like, or is it reasonable?
I was surprised when I put my first book up there. I started seeing sales almost immediately within the first couple of days. And so I think when you're new, and maybe it's like iTunes, maybe it's like the iTunes new and noteworthy. Maybe
Uh,
I haven't I haven't dug too deep into it to see how exactly that goes on. But when I added another gig, somebody tweeted me up and said, "Oh, I saw you on the homepage of Fiverr today." I was like, "Oh, really?" And so sure
wow.
enough, like I got a couple orders from that, so that was pretty sweet. And it seems to come in bunches, kind of like how Amazon adjusts their ranks hourly. Like if you,
Or do they?
yeah, like for bestsellers. And so when you sell a couple, now all of a sudden I think they give you more exposure because they're like their internal algorithms say, hey, this is converting right now. Maybe we'll bump this up and let more people find it.
Yeah, yeah. The acceleration of sales is a huge ranking factor in all of these, in the app stores as well.
Yeah,
Acceleration of downloads. Um,
yeah.
that is actually very cool. Um,
So it's been fun. I mean, you can use it in different ways, like for lead generation and stuff. They're pretty strict about trying to keep communication on the platform. So it's tougher to set up consulting calls, but there's a bunch of people on there offering like $5 coaching sessions with the hope to upsell people into more and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, and that's actually fine because a lot of people do free lead generation calls
Yeah,
in the hopes of upselling people. So I mean, it's actually $5 is actually better than if it's a lead sales call. It's a totally different ballgame, and $5 is actually good in that case because usually it's free.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's no different from the car dealer down the road offering $5 oil change. They know they're going to lose money on it, but the upsells make it worth their while.
very cool. Well, that's actually been informative. I might actually do something on Fiverr myself because I've been meaning to put a lot of my content into a book, and so maybe that will work out.
Yeah, you got to
Uh,
test it out. It's been fun.